Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Low Carb Cocktails. I'm your host, Frank. If you haven't figured out yet by now, I'm the Low Carb Cocktail guy. So let's go ahead and get started. Today's video is about the Mule. So I'm going to show you 5 different versions of the Moscow Mule. So let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to start off with our first one, the traditional Moscow Mule, using a vodka. In our copper mug, we will add ice. Next, we'll add 2 ounces of vodka. Two ounces of vodka. I spilled a little bit. This is video number 7 today. So top that with another extra ounce. And next, we'll add a ½ ounce of lime juice. And 4 ounces of ginger beer. Are my dogs finished chomping the ice that I dropped? No, they're not. We're waiting.
That's their favorite part.
And that's the favorite part of me shooting videos is when I drop ice. We're gonna continue anyway. So next we do 4 ounces of ginger beer. So we're gonna add 4 ounces of the ginger beer. That's 2 ounces. 4 ounces. And from there, of course, garnish that with the lime wedge. And there you have the traditional Moscow Mule. With Louisiana vodka, we call that a Louisiana Mule. Next up is something called the Mayan Mule. So the Mayan Mule uses tequila. Now, I prefer Reposado over Blanco. That barrel rest that it has just adds a little bit of oakiness, a little more flavor profile than just a silver tequila that's just straight off the still into a bottle. So from here, same as before, we'll start off with a copper mug. Add some ice. Dog's not getting that one. We'll add 2 ounces of our tequila. We are using El Jimador. I was talking to a coworker about tequila the other day, and basically what I told him was, I'll put El Jimador against any. Stop chewing the ice! Well, basically what I told him is I would put El Jimador up against any $30, $40, $50 bottle of tequila. $20 a bottle, wonderful tequila as an everyday drinker if you're mixing it. Are you finished chewing? And next, again, 4 ounces of ginger beer. 2, and the dog's still chomping ice. I gotta stop dropping it. Thought I picked it all up. And a ½ ounce, I'm gonna talk really loud here so you don't hear the dog chomping ice. ½ ounce of concentrated lime juice to make it 0 carbs. She got such a little mouth, it takes her an hour to eat 1 ice cube. I'm always picking it up. ½ ounce of lime juice. Garnish of a lime wedge. And where did she find that ice? Roxy, stop. And there you have the Mayan Mule. Oh man, that tequila brings a whole new level to that. If you've never had a Mayan Mule and you're a tequila fan, you've got to try this. All right, next is the Jamaican Mule. You're supposed to use the Jamaican rum, but my favorite rum is not Jamaican. My favorite rum is local from 7.3 Distilling. So we're gonna start off with, again, some ice. We're gonna do 2 ounces of rum. Technically, I guess we call this a NOLA Mule since we're using some NOLA rum from NOLA. If you're not familiar with NOLA, that's the abbreviation for New Orleans, Louisiana. We're gonna do 2 ounces of some rum. I am a huge supporter of Louisiana spirits. Man, especially when it comes to rum. If you know anything about rum, it's made with sugar cane, and that is one of our, I want to say, top 3 exported agricultural items out of Louisiana. We have wonderful sugar cane. We have wonderful rum. 7-3 does an amazing job with their rum. So next, we're gonna add 4 ounces of our ginger beer. And I don't think I mentioned it earlier. This is Gosling's Diet ginger beer. So there's no carbs. In everything we've done, there's no carbs. And we'll add 1/2 ounce of our lime juice. I think my glass is too small for that, but we're gonna see. And a 1/2 ounce of lime juice. Wait a minute. Yeah. Then spill over. And we give that a quick little, I don't want to say stir, but yeah. Just to blend together. Got a little bit spilled. I probably should have had that on the bar mat to begin with. And that is your 7-3 Mule. Man, wait a minute. And we'll garnish that with a lime wedge, like all the mules. Now that's the Jamaican Mule. If you're using a Jamaican rum, if you're using 7-3's amazing Black Pearl rum, I guess we call that a NOLA Black Pearl Mule. All right, let's get on to our next one. So we're continuing on to our mules. And this is gonna be our, I've heard so many different names for it. The London Mule is the most popular name for it, using a London dry gin. I'm not a fan of London dry gin. What? I'm getting there. The Gentilly Mule, I'm getting there. Hold the horses. I'm not a fan of London dry gins. I don't want it to taste like I'm licking the Christmas tree when I'm having a cocktail. So we're gonna be using Gentilly gin from 7-3 Distilling right out here in South Louisiana, in New Orleans. If you're in the New Orleans area, if you've not tried this, grab a bottle of it. And if you're not from New Orleans and you're traveling here, stop by the distillery, sample this product, grab a bottle. This is some amazing stuff. So we're gonna get started with the London Mule, or if you're using 7-3's Gentilly gin, if you're using 7-3's Gentilly gin, then we're gonna call this a NOLA Gin Mule. So let's get started. What I really like about their gin is some of the botanicals they're using. And I don't want to mess this up, so I'm gonna look at the label real quick. Yeah, that was right. Elderflower and persimmon. That's 2 of the things they add with the juniper berries to make their gin. That elderflower and that persimmon is amazing. I love this gin. This is our house stock gin here at the Low Carb Cocktail Guy house. So let's go ahead and get started with this London Dry or Gentilly Gin Mule. In our rocks glass, we'll add some ice. And we're gonna add about, learning from my last mistake with the rum mule, is we're gonna bring that down just a little bit, change our ratios to fit in our rocks glass. We're gonna do 1.5 ounces of gin. That's more than 1.5 ounces, but that's okay. We're gonna add 4 ounces. I don't know if I have enough in there. We have 4 ounces of our Diet ginger beer. Guys, if you haven't seen it yet, I did do a blind taste test on Diet ginger beers. You can check that video out right here on the blind taste test of ginger beers. Let me get my other can. Where is my other can? There it is. Well, actually, we're gonna cut that back to about 3.5 ounces because of glass size. That's 2.5, 1.5. I'm sorry, 1.5 and 1.5. And that way we can add our 1/4 ounces. We're cutting the ratios back a little bit from our last one. We're gonna go with a between 1/2 and 1/4 ounce of lime juice. Again, we're using concentrate, keeping this 0 carbs. So far, all of our mules are Moscow Mule. Our Louisiana Mule, as I said, our Jamaican Mule, or if you use 7-3 rum, our Louisiana NOLA Bayou Mule. And then with this one here, our Gentilly Gin Mule, we're gonna add that. we're good. Add a little bit of a stir to it. Blend it all together. We're gonna garnish that with a lime wedge. And there we have our gin mule. If you use a London dry gin, it's called a London Mule, Beefeaters, Tanqueray, things like that. London dry style gins. I prefer American style gins. I'm not a huge fan of the London dries like I mentioned earlier. So that is it. So guys, let's taste it. Wow, just wow. So all I can say about 7.3 gin, like I mentioned earlier just a few moments ago, this is my house gin. I think they ship out of state. I'll put a link below in the description along with some of the other, a few other affiliate links from Amazon, some allulose, things like that. Some of my copper mugs that I use. So if you buy anything through those links below, it is affiliate links, so it does help me out. So if you're in the market for some things, check out my links below. That does help me out. But like I said, I'm gonna leave a link below to 7.3's website with a phone number. You can contact them. That is the London Mule, or as I call it using this particular gin, a Gentilly Mule. All right, our next mule is the Kentucky Mule. It's basically a bourbon mule. So we'll be using Country Smooth Bourbon. Wonderful bourbon. It's smooth just like its name says. Now, if you want to use a Kentucky branded whiskey, that's fine. But Country Smooth is a great whiskey. Price point wise, 30-ish, 25 to 30, depending on your market. Wonderful mixer. One of the best bourbons I've found to add to cocktails. So let's go ahead and get started with our Kentucky style mule. So first thing you can do, start with a rocks glass, copper mug, whatever. If you don't have copper mugs, go with a rocks glass. So from here, we're gonna add some ice. And next we're gonna add 2 ounces of your bourbon. Use your favorite bourbon. Mine happens to be Country Smooth. 7.3 has put one out, but I have not tried it yet. So far, Country Smooth is my go-to. For mixers, at least, I will say that for mixers, Country Smooth is my #1 bourbon for mixers. From here, we'll add 4 ounces of ginger beer. Know your glass size before you start mixing, because I done screwed that up twice already. So there, oh yeah, I got my 4 ounces. And then a 1/2 ounce of your lime juice. So basically, if you've not picked up a pattern here, a mule is 2 ounces of spirit, 4 ounces of ginger beer. You can top if you want, but you're never gonna have a consistent flavor every time you make one. We'll do a 1/2 ounce of our lime juice. Again, concentrate it, keep it 0 carbs. Drop that in. Give it a little mix. And there you have the Kentucky Mule, and we will add a lime wedge garnish. So there you have the Kentucky Mule. Just like all the other mule recipes, 2 ounces of spirit, 4 ounces of ginger beer, 1/2 ounce of lime juice. I keep dropping this lime, shit. It's the 3rd time I dropped it. You've seen 2 jump cuts already. The Kentucky Mule. Slurpy slurpy means goody goody. All right, guys. Before I go, I now have a Patreon page. So if you'd like to support me, because this shit isn't cheap. This so far is about $125 worth of booze. This gets expensive. So if you'd like to help support me and give you better quality content, and that can only happen if y'all help support me through Patreon. So guys, y'all have a great day, because after mule number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 4 of the videos, I'm definitely having a great day too. See y'all later.